Hello, skateboarders. Welcome to TSM Live Show, Season 8, Episode 2. I'm your host, Tommie Zam. This episode interviewers are Wyatt, Hammond, Chris Lambert, and musical guest, Matt Pailes. You guys ready to get this show started? Let's do this. Good. What's up, Wyatt? How you doing, man?
How you doing?
You live close by, right?
Yeah, I live in RSM.
Okay. And how far is that? Like what, 10 minutes away, 20 minutes?
20 minutes probably.
Okay. Did you skate here or what?
No, my mom took me here.
What? I thought you were going to ride your e-bike, dude.
No, I don't have one yet.
What? Oh, we better tell your parents to get you one for Christmas, right?
Maybe.
Maybe birthday, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's get into it. So what got you into skateboarding? My
neighbor had a skateboard, and he used to skate with a bunch of his friends. And one day he left it outside, and I used it a couple times, and then he ended up giving it to me, and I was just hooked ever since.
Really? So he kind of just quit. He's like, you know what, I'm done. You did too many tricks for me. I can't even land, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think he got older and got into other stuff, but he's somewhere out there living life, but I'm still skating.
Hell yeah. And do you remember what kind of board it was?
No, I don't. It was so long ago. It was when I was 2 years old.
Okay. Well, hold on. Wait. Rewind a little bit. You started skating when you were 2 years old?
Yeah, I was
what?
2.5.
2.5?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. So, oh man, you just threw me off a little bit there. 2.5. Damn. So you just started to learn how to walk a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then you start growing on a skateboard after that.
Yeah, I was like walking, biking, kicking a soccer ball, skateboarding.
Dude.
Learned so much
I'm
stuff.
proud of you, man.
Thanks.
That's pretty rad. So, okay, so 2.5 years, we were 2.5 years old when you started skateboarding, and then you just stuck to it?
Yep, just kept going.
And you're what, 12?
I am 11.
11, okay. I was a little close. You know, I might have thrown up a little bit up there. Okay, so 2.5 to 11, that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
And so you just stuck to it and everything?
Yeah, I stuck to it, and when Mom brought me to Etney Skate Park, it's like 10 minutes down the road, and I'd just slide down all the ramps, and I just kept bringing my skateboard there, and it just got more fun.
Okay.
And then it just got funner and funner.
That's rad, dude. And then so, I mean, you just threw me off all my questions I was going to ask you there, you know? I'm just kind of like dazzled. That's pretty rad. I mean, to know that you started skateboarding when you were 2.5 years old, and you know, and just getting that love for it. I mean, I see your videos. I've been watching you skate for a long time, and you killed it. You know.
Thanks.
And so, I mean, do you remember when you first landed your trick?
Yeah. The first trick I probably remember landing was my first kickflip, and it was crazy because I landed it at Tony Hawk's vert ramp.
No way.
Yeah.
Was Tony there?
No, but I got to skate with him before that, but I just remember I fell on this one trick and then went down, got on my street board, and I did my kickflip.
But it wasn't a vert board, you know?
It wasn't a vert board.
So you skated a vert too?
Yeah, I still skate vert sometimes.
Okay.
I was at Woodward with a couple of my friends, and I skated the vert ramp, and I learned how to body burial 540,
What?
heel flip Indy,
What?
burial flip Indy.
Dude, that's so
Got
rad.
a bunch of tricks.
And when you first time dropped in a vert ramp, were you scared, or when you got on top of that?
Yeah, I was pretty scared, but another story was I was with Steve Caballero at this beach, and they had this vert ramp, and I dropped in 50 onto this into this vert ramp, and I ate it the first try, but went and did it the second try.
Man, so go back to that. So when you dropped in on that 50, so what was your fear? Like, did you just stomach turn or anything? Or
I was
what?
just hyped up because I was with a bunch of pro skaters. I was with like Steve Caballero and a bunch of the other guys, so it was really, really fun.
Okay. And do you remember I mean, I know your first board was when you were 2.5 years old, but do you remember your first actual real board?
My first actual real board. I still have it. I don't know what board it is, but I still have that board, and it's like shredded to pieces, like chipped on every corner, but
Okay.
yeah.
And you have a local skate shop that you go to?
Yeah, I have a local skate shop. I ride for a skate shop. It's a SoCal Skate Shop.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was actually my first sponsor.
Okay.
So I've been with them for a while.
How long, what, 10 years?
Oh, probably since I was 6, so
Okay.
5 years.
So how did you get sponsored by them? Did you walk in and give them videotapes, or did you come in there and just be like a shop kid, or what?
I don't remember. I just remember them. I just remember being sponsored by them this one time, and I kept putting the stickers on my board. So
That's cool.
kept going there, and it was so sick.
And do they do a lot for your skate community, or what?
Oh yeah, they do a lot. I don't know. It's just an all community skate shop, so it's sick to see it still there, and they're going really well. So it's so sick.
And then do you have like a local skate park you go to, or what?
Yeah, Etnies is my local skate
Okay.
park, and I go to Sandlot Time Skate Park.
Okay.
That one's so sick. So those are like my two.
And which one you like better?
Oh, I like Sandlot Time.
I knew you were gonna say that.
But I like both. Both are really good.
Okay. And then and so you skate more at Etnies, you say, or you skate more?
I skate a lot at Sandlot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's a really good park, and I like that they have this bump to bar there. I learn a bunch of tricks on there.
What tricks?
I just got back my hard flip back lips yesterday. I've been doing tray flip lip slides.
That's sick.
Did kick flip back tails.
Okay.
So,
And then who are your sponsors?
I ride for Sandlot Times, Hot
Okay.
Wheels, S1, Jessup, Ace Trucks, Bones, Jackson, Ithaca, a bunch of other brands.
Okay.
So.
And how'd you get on Sandlot?
Oh, so actually, I was at Sandlot Times Park one day, and Ryan just wanted me to try their boards. So, and then I actually did Hollywood 16 on the
Hold
board.
on. Wait. You did what?
I did Hollywood 16
You
on
hear
the
that, guys?
board
Right
in
here.
the first month that I was riding on that board.
What'd you do down there?
I board slid it when I was 9 or 10.
What? And how many tries did it take you?
That was I don't know, but it didn't take me a lot of tries. I know I slipped out on a couple, but it didn't take that long. So
Wow.
Got it.
So I mean, like, were you scared when you first time did it, or what? Or about when you rolled up?
yeah, I was scared. But a couple years prior, when I was 6, I board slid the 12 stair. So I kind of knew what it was gonna be like. So I board slid the 12 a couple times, rolled up, and then didn't take me that long to get onto it. So
Okay, that's pretty sick, dude. I mean, that's just a legendary spot right there.
yeah.
And then I'm gonna go back a little bit. So how did you and Ryan meet?
So it's crazy story.
Okay.
When I was about, I think I was still in diapers. I was at this bowling alley with my parents, and they saw him a couple lanes down, and I have a picture with Ryan Sheckler. And then fast forward like 5 years, we met at this skate park, and it was actually his skate park, and he liked the way that I skate. So it was crazy that he asked me to ride for his company.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
and so y'all guys been friends for a long time?
Oh
or-
yeah, we've been friends since I was on there, since I got on to Sandlot in 2022.
Okay.
So it's been good two years,
Okay.
2 years, 3 years.
So tell us a little bit about Sandlot. What are they trying to do?
Sandlot, they're just trying to help the community, and I don't know, it's just a good company.
Okay. And so are they putting together a whole team, or
So right
what are they
now
doing?
they have a couple of people on there.
Okay.
And I'm on there. Manny Santiago's on there.
I love that dude.
Yeah, so sick. He got on there a couple years ago, and then Ryan, a couple other people. So sick. We got a little team together.
Okay, okay. And then you gave us this video. Tell us about this video we're about to watch.
Yeah, this is some of my clips from my old part and some clips in the streets that I've done. So.
Okay. And any cool, dope video trick that we need to keep our eyes out for, or what?
I think that in this video there's a board slide down an 18s there. It was my ender for my old part.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So we're all going to check this thing out, right?
Yeah.
You ready to show everybody?
Yep.
All right. Here's Wyatt Hammond's part. Check it out.
Let's go.
Dude, that 18 was sick, dude.
Thanks.
Take us back to that day.
It was really, it was a scary day because I remember going up to it. We had this set up. Took us a good 30 minutes to set up. I needed all the wood and stuff. And it was crazy because we didn't drill in one piece of wood on the run up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a couple pieces of wood on the stairs. And we forgot to drill them in. So I'm going down the stair, like dropped in.
Mm-hmm.
And I clipped on the piece of wood and fell straight to flat.
You did a scorpion, did you?
Oh, I don't think I did, but I just fell straight to flat.
Oh, no.
And then we drilled it in, and then there's this fall where I got down it, board slid the whole thing, went straight on the wood, went into the grass, and just like hit my head and slid off the curb. But took a good hour, but in the end, I got it.
That's good, dude. That was dope, man. And you know, a couple more questions. So what inspires you to skateboard?
What inspires me to skateboard is just like the feeling when you land a trick and how you have to have a good mentality to skateboard. And I love the community of skateboarding. Everybody's nice to each other. They're such good skaters, and everybody's just they persevere in their tricks, and I like how it feels.
No, I agree with you on that. I mean, skateboarding is a big community, you know, and it's cool because of like, you know, what your little stories you were telling me about Ryan and this and that.
Yeah.
That, you know, that inspires you to skate more and to achieve to those next tricks or level, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's pretty rad to do that. And what's the everyday Wyatt's wake up? Like, what's your everyday to go before you go skateboard? What do you have to do? Is there something you have to do, like walk the dog? I mean, jump off the roof into the pool or something? I mean, what do you gotta do?
My day usually goes like I'm full time in school, so I go to school with my friends and stuff. But on the weekend when I'm going to skate, I'll wake up, eat breakfast, and then
What's your favorite thing to eat?
chocolate chip pancakes.
Oh yeah, dude. With cream on top?
No.
No?
But
You gotta do
with
the
chocolate milk.
Ooh, chocolate. Okay, you gotta get the double chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And then I'll call the filmer, say what's up, see when we're meeting, and then go to the spot, warm up, do a couple flat ground tricks. If there's another smaller set, I'll do that, and then just get in the mode.
Will you warm up on the smaller set before you do the big set?
Yeah. So when I was at the 18, I actually did the 14 a couple times.
Hold on, wait. You jumped on the 14 before 18?
Yeah.
That's your warm up.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, you're at an 18 stair. You might as well take what you got.
I would have done a 2-stair. I'm joking. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I just usually warm up on that, and then when I'm in the right mode, I just go and try what I'm doing.
That's a pretty cool day, man. And then what do you prefer more? And tell me why. Vert or street? And tell me why.
So I like street. I mean, I like both.
Okay.
I like everything about skateboarding. So I can go do vert tricks, and then I can go do street. I just like street because I feel like it's more diverse, and you can do rails, sets, but I like vert because you can do so many more tricks and spins and everything. So I like both. It's so cool. I can go do something in the streets. I can go skate a rail, and I can go to a vert ramp and practice my 540s.
Yeah. Are you going to drop a part where you do both?
Oh, maybe, but
That'd be a pretty sick part.
oh no, that would be sick.
That would be
Thanks for
sick.
the idea.
There you go. See, we'll talk later about that idea.
Yeah.
I'm joking. And then, so what? A couple more questions. So, what do you have going on for 2025? Anything new video part? Anything traveling? Anything like that?
Yeah. So coming up, there is Phoenix Zam. I want to
Okay.
go. I'm going to.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm super excited.
This is your first time?
No, I've done the past couple years, and I'm gonna go out with a bunch of my friends. Are coming out to
Okay.
it. Just have a good time and hopefully do well in it. And then I am working on a part, so
Ooh.
got a couple bangers
Maybe
in
we'll
there.
see some vert stuff in it?
Maybe.
All right, you hear that, guys? Maybe some vert stuff.
Maybe. But got a couple tricks that spots that people haven't skated yet, so
Okay.
I'm just hyped. Got a couple techie tricks, and
Okay.
so.
Have you ever skated any damn am contests or anything?
Yes. So I skated the Damn Am in Costa Mesa,
How'd you do?
and I got 11th place.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I qualified for Tampa Am the second round.
Oh, what?
But I ended up breaking my wrist before I could go.
How'd you do that, dude?
I was at Nija's Park, and I tried this hard flip back lip, and I missed the rail and just put my arms down.
Ooh, man.
My mom thought I just knocked the wind out of myself, but I must have hit the right
You're
angle.
like this. No, Mom, I didn't.
Well, yeah. I dislocated my growth plate, so
Oh,
it
man.
took a while, took a couple months to recover, but I'm back. I'm good skating.
So did this put a lot of thoughts in your head when you took that time off?
It did, but I just needed to zone out of that and focus on skating, so.
You didn't watch any skate videos while you were hurt?
Oh, I watched every skate video.
So you were jonesing pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to skate so bad.
So are we going to see a Tampa Am?
Yes, this year I'm going to Tampa.
You hear that, Schaefer? Look out for him right here.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go to Tampa and just skate a bunch of the Damn Ams and just have fun this year.
Yeah, and I think that's really good to do. I mean, Phoenix Am is definitely really good too, and especially the Damn Ams for Skate Park of Tampa, and especially skating Tampa Am, because I'll tell you the story. First time I met Ryan Scheckler was actually at a Tampa Am.
Oh, so sick.
When he was like, I don't even know how old he was. I think it was probably your age. And it was his mom, and he had a helmet, and that's when everybody was like, who's this kid? So I always tell Scheckler that story all the time. So I remember when he skated Tampa Am the first time, and I was like,
Yeah.
that was before what it was now, but
Yeah.
I was like late.
Tampa has grown.
Oh yeah, this will be your first time going, or you?
This will be my first time
Oh,
going.
you're gonna have so much fun.
Yeah.
You have so much fun. Well, actually, we might be there. Actually, gonna be there, film our episode there.
Oh, sick.
For Tampa Am this year. We usually do
Sick.
Tampa Pro, but this year we're gonna do Tampa Am.
Oh, so sick.
So we'll
So I'll
hang-
probably see you around.
Yeah, I'll show you Tampa.
Sick.
And then last question. Anything you want to say to any of the upcoming skaters that that see you and watch your Instagrams and watch you skate and all your video parts, anything you want to say to them that where they want to be, where you're at right now?
Yes, I have one thing to say. Whenever you skate, make sure you're having fun.
That's true.
Make sure you're having fun, and whatever you set your mind to, you can do.
Hear that. Hear that. Listen to Wyatt right here. What he says, you got to have fun, man. Well, Wyatt, thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
And you ready to check out Matt Pailes?
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it.
All right, coming up next is Matt Pailes.
Yeah.
I go hard in the motherfucking paint, nigga. Then you stankin', nigga. What the fuck you thinking, nigga? I won't die for this shit or what the fuck I say. Front yard, broad day with the SK. See Gucci, that's my motherfucking nigga. I hang in the jail with them hit squad killers. Walk the flock of flame on the hood ass nigga. Riding real slow in the corners, my nigga. Got a main bitch. Got a mistress, a couple of girlfriends, I'm so rich. Keep my dick hard and keep me smoking. You get pills.
What's up, Matt? How you doing, dude?
How you doing, Tommy? Good to see you.
Good, good. How was the trip down?
It was good. I drove down a couple days ago. Stayed in San Pedro for a good day and a half, and got a little bit of skating in, a little bit of beach in.
Okay.
Finally made it
You
down.
do look pretty tan there.
Oh, I do? Yeah, that's just my natural glow. Yeah. No, I'm glad I finally made it because a couple times we tried to do this and work and all that stuff got in the way. But
yeah, life does. But hey, the universe put it together.
yeah,
You know?
the universe put it together. I made it happen. I was like, I'm going down there this time.
And you drove from SF, right?
No, Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Sacramento. So that's why I brought my Kings. I'm repping.
Oh, there we go, dude.
So yeah, we drove from Sacramento. I've been there for 25 years actually.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I love Sacramento.
And is that where you grew up at, or what?
No, I grew up, actually, we were kind of just talking about this. I grew up in Massachusetts until I was 19. And when I was 19, I just wanted to live in California the whole time. Like seeing the skateboarding in the magazines, seeing all that, and was like, I'm moving to California the second I'm done my credits. So like halfway through my senior year, I jumped, I got on a plane, had some money saved, and like jumped on a plane and moved out to San Francisco. Almost moved out with this dude, Jason Maxwell, to San Diego, but last minute.
Oh, that dude's such a legend.
Yeah. And, so I basically was like, sorry, I'm going to move to SF, actually, and ended up moving straight into SF. Within a few weeks, I think we were with Jamie Thomas for a couple weeks, and then me and my buddy Greg moved in with, it was like Sean Young, Hurley, all those guys.
Yeah.
And then we moved in with Dan Drobel.
Oh,
and
sick.
then from there, it was like,
So you grew up with, not grew up, but you mostly skated like with the EMB crew, the whole...
A little bit, you know what? Okay, so once I moved to SF, it was more of like, we were like the Think crew. So I skated a lot with Drobel.
Okay.
I skated a lot with actually the East Coast guys like Huff, Ben Liversedge, Chris Keefe. We were all living in a house together, and we'd go to EMB, and we'd skate with them. But we were there almost every day for a while, but we were like a little bit late in the game on coming there. So a lot of them were friends with them, but we just kind of like associated with them, you know what I mean? Like said what's up and stuff. I'd always see Kelch and Shelby and all those guys skating there, and we'd all skate there. And I kind of had my first checkout in 4-on-1 skating there. So we skated there a lot, but we didn't kick it as much with the crew. We kind of were on the Think team, so it was like Drahobel, Phil, Paul Zawanich, Wade.
I mean, that was when Think was like...
Yeah, it was a little later. Right at the beginning, it was like Mike Santa Rosa, Eric Ricks, and then shortly after I got on, we moved on. But early times, really, a lot of that time in SF was skating with all those New York guys.
Yeah.
Like whenever they'd come, they'd stay at Huff's house next door. With Ryan Hickey would come, Mike Hernandez, Peter Bisi, and all those New York guys would come, and then we'd all just mob to downtown and go skate. And like a lot of times we do night missions, bombing hills.
Yeah.
And I remember the one California Street Hill, I think, or the one that everybody skates now that Miles did the switch tray over.
Yeah.
We'd all bomb down, and all of us would try to hit it at the, like one after another, you know. And that was fun. Timing the lights.
And you did that at
bomb-
Yeah,
Yeah, we'd all go out at night, bomb the hills, time the lights.
I would never do that.
Drahobel started it. He'd be like, "Let's go." He'd be like, "Let's go, you pussies, come on." You know, he's always talking shit. Yeah. So it was a good time though. It was really good, cool memories. Yeah.
That's awesome. And we'll go back a little bit. So you say you were from Massachusetts. What part of
Yeah.
Massachusetts?
It's a small town called Rowley near Newburyport, kind of by New Hampshire border, but only 40 minutes from Boston. So what we would do, I'd take the T in to Boston, and I used to skate with, we'd go in with a few of my buddies, but we'd meet up at Copley Square was like the spot,
Yeah.
or Needle Park, and we'd see like, we didn't skate as much with Gangemi back then, but we'd see him quite often.
Yeah.
But I would always talk to Jamal on the phone, Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
And
Such a
we'd
nice
come
guy,
in.
dude.
Yeah, so sick. He used to do those fakey Markovich flips at the 360 shove at heels, full speed at Copley. And just we'd always skate with those guys. There was a guy named Pat Noonan, all these old school skaters.
So it was most because I didn't grow up, but I was born in Fitchburg, Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, Western Mass.
Yeah, so my dad was in the military, so it was basically like, oh, Tommie, here you go, born, we're going to move to Florida. So I grew up with Florida with Markovich and all Scott Stanton and all those guys down there.
You know who's from that area was Jim Gagney too.
Yep.
Jim Gagney was from Fitchburg, and there was a really sick bank there that was like a quarter pipe. And so there's a lot of this guy Gunner's photos. He's on Instagram, and he's got a lot of footage of Jim Gagney back in those days.
Dude,
we looked
that
up.
dude ripped.
Yeah, we were like Jim Gagney was the skate god from the
Yep.
East Coast back then. We were like, oh, and he got a real early, got a real skateboard. So we were like kind of following his lead, like, oh, he's going to California. He skates for real. Like, there was this place called Interskate. It was like a roller skating rink that they turned into a skate camp, and it was in all the New Deal videos.
Yep, I
like
remember seeing the ads and stuff like that.
yeah, and like Andy Howell, his whole part's
Yep.
filmed there. Chris Hall. So we were all there during that
So
time.
so your style was like more East Coast style. So
East Coast
because
street
people don't
skating.
understand the East Coast in the South, whatever, the roads are fucking rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
I mean, we got to learn how to skate crappy roads.
Find what you can. Yeah, make
the rock.
good with what you got.
And then
yeah.
we go to come to California, we're like golden roads,
Yeah,
perfect roads.
Beautiful. I remember moving here and it was like 50 degrees. And I was like, it's so nice out because, I mean, I literally left in February. It was like
Snow on the
it
ground?
was 0. I learned tray flips in 0 degrees. I was telling them earlier in a Rob Roscop in my garage. Yeah, it was freezing.
I mean, where I grew up in Pensacola, Florida, we got cold weather.
Yeah.
And I remember going out in like gloves and everything, skating in the middle of the night. And
It's cold in Florida?
Oh, it does. it just snowed like a couple months ago or a month ago
okay.
down there.
I always thought Florida was like the California of the East. but
No, well, Pensacola's
like the top part.
Yeah, Pensacola's like north. So then you got
yeah.
Louisiana, or no, Alabama, Louisiana,
Okay, yeah.
Mississippi. Well, I have backwards, but it's like more north.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So you got the more colder climate come down there. But I remember growing up with, we would go skate at nights with my homies and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We'd have gloves on, and when you fall on the ground, that hurt.
Yeah, I know. Guys, yeah, I would wear gloves. We'd go, like I was saying, when I remember skating with Maxwell, actually, Jason Maxwell, in Boston, and we'd go skate for a half hour, go in, get the coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, put on our gloves, and be like, okay, we'll get another half hour, go back out, find a spot that was like the salted roads had dried it up enough, and there's like snow on either side. So still, kids on the East Coast are doing that. I watch footage all the time where I'm like, whoa, they're skating in the snow right now. And,
I won't do it.
oh man, yeah. I mean, I think I probably would. if I don't skate, I go nuts.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. I mean, I live in PB in San Diego, so I mean, I got the bay and stuff. I just go throw my board and
yeah.
cruise around, stuff like that.
Yeah, I love it there. It's nice. I was just there last week. Yeah.
It's great down there. And so growing up in Massachusetts area, so what was skateboarding like?
Man,
in
it was
in that era.
Yeah, it was like everything we were seeing was from the magazines. Like we'd be looking at the magazines and be like, whoa, or like I remember seeing Shackle Me Not and all those H Street videos and just being like, oh, whoa, they're doing all these tricks that are way ahead of what we're doing. So we would like just try to emulate what we saw. And I remember there was a demo, Matt Hensley and Ron Allen came, and got to see all the Boston kids because we were from a smaller town. And Robbie Gangemi was skating this brick wall with a jump ramp up to it, doing huge frontside wall rides. He's skating a board that said Nava on it. I was like, what's that company? This little company called Nava. And it was like a East Coast shut, like almost like shut, but not. Big ass frontside wall rides. And then they were like off a tiny jump ramp, ollieing over a fence. And it was blowing my mind. So for us, we didn't get to see much sick innovation till later. So we were always trying to play catch up, and it was a lot of going to skate parks in the middle of winter. There's this place, ZT Maximus. We'd take the train all the way there, go through the hood. It was right across from Cambridge Pool. And then you'd get in there and skate for like hours. The coping was like that fat.
Damn.
huge coping. The vert ramp was like a 9 foot, so it was almost like a giant mini ramp. So you didn't know whether to ollie or to air. You know,
You're like this. Wait, did I
it's
ollie?
sick though. A lot of good skaters come out of there. Ram Hannon, he still skates to this day. The guy's name was Zito Ken, who ran the place. It was it's OG Boston. If people are watching this from Boston, they'll be like, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No, that's rad.
Yeah.
And so, did you have a skate shop that you grew up with, or sponsored by that in that area, or what?
Yeah, there was this place in Hampton Beach called the Board Shop. They were my first sponsor, so they give me like cheap boards or free stuff. And then I ended up skating for some place called the Bike Barn in like Lower Mass, like kind of near Rhode Island. And this dude Lennon Laura, I think he lives out here, but he got me on, and he still skates to this day, and he lives out here.
Okay.
Yeah, he ripped. He was like a mini ramp champ, you know.
Yeah, and then did those skate shops do stuff for the skate community and stuff?
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
they'd always have throw contests. Like, I was in a bunch of their contests. It was kind of close to, like, the Skate Hut, it's called, this place where all the Rhode Island guys skated, like, and Connecticut dudes, like Judd and me are friends now in Sacramento, Judd Hertzler. But he's from that whole era.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from that whole time frame. We still get out there. I hit him up on the weekends. What's up, man? You got some time? And then we hit some curbs. Or it's funny, East Coast, and now we're living in Sac for the past 20 years.
Is that you ever thought yourself would be doing that right
I
now?
know. I didn't think I'd be in Sacramento. Yeah, I lived in SF for 5 years. I thought that was it. And then when I moved to Sacramento, met Matt Rodriguez and started doing music with him, I was like, this town is so cool, you know? And then I didn't have a car then, so I thought that the skate spots were limited. But now that I got a car, I mean, I've had a car for years, but I used to drive Uber for years, way back when after skateboarding, was working for the city, driving Uber, doing a bunch of other things, just like hustling. So from driving, I'd be like, oh, look at that spot, look at that spot. I start pinning the spots. And everyone's always like, where's that spot? I'm like, you gotta find it. You gotta Venmo me $10. And
Where's that money at?
Yeah, I mess with them, and they're like, "You really want $10 for that?" I'm like, "No, dude, it's right here." You know, but there's spots like you just gotta search for them, kind of. You know,
Yeah.
Sacramento's got a lot. It's spread out, so it's a lot.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go back a little bit. So, Think. How'd you get on to Think? Like, did Greg find you, or did you hang out with those guys all the time, or what? I mean, you did, but I mean.
Yeah, well, actually, so I was skating with Drehobel. Drehobel had just turned pro for Think. And I actually was, I know Lambert's here, so I was about to get hooked up with Blockhead, I think, because me and Laban were skating together. He gave me an I Love Cops board. He's like, hey, yeah, man, you're ripping. Like,
I remember that board.
We were talking about it, and it was, I was skating with Greg and them every day. And I get in the car with him. He's like, what the fuck are you doing with that board? I'm like, well, this dude hooked me up, dude. They're talking about getting me on. He's like, what the fuck? Give me that board. He's like, you want to ride for Think? Gave me a board. I was like, what? I was like, hell yeah, you know, Think skateboards. Like, I grew up watching Ronnie Bertino and all that first skate video with Carl and all them. I loved Think. So I was like, I just didn't think that they'd want me on. So when he said that, I was all, Think, yeah, hell yeah. And so I got on, and then from then on, I was like, okay, like this is a good shot. Like, let's just skate with these guys all the time.
Yeah.
And it kind of just naturally happened, you know what I mean? Like, but I remember when I got on thinking, okay, dude, anything Drehobel and Phil are doing, just try the same shit they're doing, because they're killing it and they're rad. You know, and Phil was super good at being like, oh, put your foot like that. He was super good at like, it's easy, dude. Just do this. And he'd convince you that the trick was easy, you know. And
Well, he hypnotized you.
yeah,
right?
he'd just be like, you put your foot here, you put your foot there, you kick it like a 1 foot, trust me, and it would work. And I'd be like, oh, Phil's like the teacher, you know. But he would skate like that too. Like he'd do a huge thing, air out to Smith grind on some fat thing, and it looks impossible, but if you just try it,
Yeah.
you're already in it, you know. And Drehobel was like that too. I'd watch him skate, and I'd be like, whoa, this is like what a pro skater looks like. Like, he's just destroying the spot, landing shit first try, and it's stuff that you think would maybe be impossible on China Banks or something. And you're like, oh my God, he just 50-50'd that like nothing. But they just like, they kind of emulated that way of skating, of skate everything, try it first try, don't think it's impossible, you know what I mean? And yeah, skating with them was like really helped shape my skating.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome to do, like, you know, growing up or skating with people to help you out and get you where you need to be.
Yeah, just
you know?
watching them and being like, whoa, you can do that? Let me try that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like, skateboarding's hard at first, but when you start hacking away at a trick, it's just one step at a time. I think I got this actually, you know what I mean? Even with like handrails, I used to not skate handrails or be scared of them. And then just being like, if you just chuck yourself at it and lock in, it's not gonna hurt your feet because you're kind of like cushioning the fall by getting on, and then you get to the butt. And so I started thinking like, just take every skate trick one step at a time instead of like fearing it and looking at it as like, how am I gonna figure this out?
Yeah,
how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna go for this?
And another thing I was gonna ask you about, and your feelings about this. So coming from the East Coast, going on the West Coast, riding for Think, and then getting a cover of Thrasher. How does that feel, dude?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I mean,
Ben Liversedge actually
take
came
me back
in.
to that feeling, dude.
Yeah, he came in the apartment we lived with Matt O'Brien, this guy Greg, Dan, and that was our spot. But Ben was staying with us. He had just got on Reel, or he was on Reel. But he's like, yo, Pailes. He's like, you didn't see you got to cover a Thrasher. And I was like, wait, what? And what we did that day, we went with Bryce to some photographer's warehouse, and me and Phil were just ollieing off this loading dock and doing 180 ollies and ollies with this like city superimposed in the background. And that was the cover. It was just ollieing off a loading dock. So I chucked the 180 and somehow they were like, that's the one. And I remember thinking, I wish it was a sicker trick, dude. Like, but it was cool because then I remember going back home and just people are like, dude, you're actually doing that pro skating thing you're talking about? I was like, yeah. I was like, it's happening. It's like, I was still am, but I was like, it's on its way. Like I was like right there, you know. I remember turning pro and being like, it was in Newburgh, New Jersey or something. And a lot of people were there. Matt Reason was there. All these people, Deadbeat Vinny, I think it was called, or Dead End Vinny. Ben Margera was there. Like all the early guys were there. Coco Santiago. And I remember just being like,
you had all the legends.
All the legends, and I remember being like, dang, I do tray flips and fakie flips, and I'm not that like pro yet. And I remember just thinking, dude, just start skating everything. And then my Think video part, when I was filming for that, I just started trying to go for big handrails, big gaps, just anything that I thought was impossible. I remember just telling myself, like, just try to do it. Just don't think that you can't do it. You know what I mean? And then I tried to come out with a really good part. And I think finally I got people's attention where they're like, oh, yeah, he is good enough to be pro. Because at first I thought, I'm not ready for this. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
You're like, I'm from back
I was
east,
like,
man.
I'm almost there, but what the heck? Like, I'm already pro. Like, and so I was a little bit like intimidated by it.
Yeah. And do you remember? Can you take us back to the day they actually turned you pro? Like, what was that feeling?
I just remember Greg saying we were at a Sacramento contest. Actually, Mako Urabi was there. Phil was there. I think Mike Carroll was there. We're all skating this like I think it was a pro contest, but I remember just being there and he said, no, Pailes is going pro next. And I just went, what? You know, and then I remember my first board was like this Indian canoe. And it didn't even say my name on the bottom, but if you flip it over, it said it on the top. And then the next board that came out, I think, was the, it was called, I was like, oh, I want to do this thing where it's all Pailes raised at the head of the creek, and it's like, it looked like a butter with these cows, and there's like little poops from the cows, and I was like, because of mushrooms, so, you know, I thought it'd be a cool thing. So I was like, yeah, Pailes. And that board came out, and that was this whole Think tour where we skated and filmed and skated and filmed, and we put together a whole like video part for Damage. And Damage was sick because it was not only street parts, but it was like street parts mixed with demos and places you went on tour. So we mixed in demo footage with street footage. Yeah. So that whole Damage skate video, Think video, is us destroying demos and just like doing crazy, like Melancholy to lip slide on over a pyramid or something crazy. And then also a street spot. So it was like mixed with everything. I think their whole thing was like skate everything. You know, Think at that time was Wade, me, Phil, and we were all like, you know,
I mean, that was a solid team with Wade. And
yeah, it was such a good era. Carl Hubble, I think the guy's name was, Don Carey, Joe Sierra, who still lives in Sacramento to this day and rips. Everybody had good parts, but Drobel's part was sick. All China Banks footage. Yeah. Yeah.
And so then Think happened. And then you went to Supernaut, right?
Yeah, I was on Think for a number of years.
And that was a dope company too, by the way.
Yeah, and I kind of went through like a hippie phase, and they were like, "Oh, what's going on?" So I started skating with different people, and like Mike Dare, Matt Rodriguez, Matt Field, Freddie Gall. I used to skate with him a lot when he'd come out, and so we were all kind of in this like we were starting this thing called Half-Life, which eventually became like a iPath. But during that time, they were like kind of like hating on our hippie vibe and our Rasta stuff. But but at the same time, we were all still friends. So I started skating with them so much more that I was like, you know, I think it was like they were like, "Are you gonna quit?" And I was like, "I don't know. I want to still skate with you guys, but we're not on the same page." And then Supernaut was starting, and it was like Paul Sharp, Cairo, John Miner.
Yeah.
And it was a sick team.
And
And the
boards
biggest thing for me was they were going to do all my artwork on the boards.
Mm-hmm.
And Think was kind of like, look, dude, I think we're going to, if you're not into this, we're going to let you go. And I was like, yeah, and I think I'm going to ride for these guys. So it was kind of a bummer, but at the same time, it just happened at the perfect time. And then me and Matt Rodriguez went on to do 2 videos with Supernaut, and we kind of took it over because Paul stayed with us, but Cairo left, and he was the guy.
Yeah.
He went to Real. But then we started putting together our own graphics for Supernaut. They pressed the boards one at a time. It was like at some furniture warehouse.
Yeah.
So the boards were super good quality, good shapes. And it was our own thing. And we used to have meetings with the, this guy was not even, he knew nothing about skateboarding. Like,
it's always those guys, right?
he knew nothing about skateboarding. He was just like, oh yeah, pressed it pretty good there, huh? And it's like, what do you guys think for these graphics? And he'd show us some space guy. And me and Matt would just roast the graphics and be like, dude, what? And then so we'd come up with paintings and drawings, and we'd make our own graphics, and they let us have like a lot of creative control. So that was cool for a number of years, but over, you know, number of years, and then it just kind of didn't keep going, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's when, during that time when it was kind of ending, Satori was really picking up, and he offered,
some of the best wheels right
yeah,
there.
he offered to do creation, and we did a whole bunch of Satori videos and tours, and still to this day I ride for Satori. I still rep their wheels. See, look at this bearing, it's like freaky. But yeah, these are Neen's wheels, so I still ride Satori's, and still on the team, yeah.
And then you said you started iPath, right? Or
well, me, Matt, and Matt were the first 3 designers for the first 3 shoes ever. And this guy Brian was the backer. It used to be like Nice Shoes, and then they turned it into iPath.
Oh, Nice. What? That's right. I
remember Nice?
Yeah,
and then
Nice.
that company was, and then that dude Brian, whatever. They made them. We made all the first few shoes. It was like the Buffalo, the Grasshopper, and the Cat.
My favorite was the Grasshopper.
Yeah, and then they're sick, dude. I mean, honestly, and it was cool for a number of years. We traveled. We went to Japan. We went all over, you know, and just did a ton of tours. We got paid, and it was cool. But like in the long run, like me and Matt never really got. I think Matt was on for a long time after, but they never really gave, that Cat was his design, but they never gave him a shoe, right?
Really?
And then even with me, I never got a shoe, so I just kind of was like, okay, where's this going, you know? And in the long run, I mean, it was getting later in my years, so I was becoming more of like, I was starting to work at the skate park in Sacramento. I wasn't really making money on skating, and I was just more like getting older in my later 30s, so I was like, you know, this is cool, but I don't really want, you know, and they were like, your contract's coming up, so they just kind of, time went on, basically, you know what I mean? And now it's coming back, but me and Matt Rodriguez are messing with our old friend Hiroshi from Japan, and we're creating a little small company called Beautiful Planet. And it's kind of like iPath type shoes, things like that. So it's coming along. It's slow but sure. So be on the lookout.
We need something new.
Beautiful Planet. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Because, I mean, it's cool that iPath is coming back, but I feel like they're not really giving shout-outs to the OGs who kind of helped, like, really the 3 of us who helped do it, you know?
Oh, no, we definitely need a new shoe brand in this industry, man.
Yeah, you know, I just think, like...
Because everything's shutting down, everything's going, you know what I mean?
It's too bad to see. And then seeing OGs that started Lakai or all those guys, you know, it's like... But, I mean, I'm guilty. I ride Adidas. I get Adidas from Carl, and they're dope. You know, I like rocking Adidas. So everybody likes Nikes. You know, so I understand, but it's nice to see.
But once you get that brand up, then there you go.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So Beautiful Planet is going to be a cool shoe.
You hear
company.
that, guys? Keep your eyes out.
Beautiful Planet. Check it out. It's on Instagram. Well, it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. Definitely.
They already got shoes out. Actually, they
Really?
got like some samples they've made. So if you check it out.
No, I definitely will.
Yeah.
And so skateboarding. Now that's when you start getting into music, right?
Yep.
So once you realize, that, okay, what I'm gonna do, you know, money's not there. I gotta do this. I gotta hustle this and this and this. So now music.
Yeah, and I was starting to get into music with Matt Rodriguez.
Okay.
During the skateboarding, and it was mainly just I was in a band and learning instruments, guitar, stuff like that, learning to skank reggae, play reggae. I was in a band called the Storytellers. There's still a band to this day in Sacramento with Matt. But I just started doing reggae and then I got into dance hall and DJing, which would be like talking over the mic, singing over the mic, producing my own tracks, and just years to years, just progression, you know. And then in the past, and then I was actually in a rock steady band for years, for years, soul and rock steady. So
that's awesome.
That was cool for like, it was more of a singing thing, and then the other reggae is more like chat over the reggae, kind of like rapping reggae style, you know. So yeah, I've been making a lot of music. Today, one of the tunes I'm doing is called Baby Be True, and it's a rendition of the Heptones. The Heptones did a song called Baby Be True. I kind of took that hook, I remixed the song, and then because I heard a remix of the same song that Mos Def did, and they threw Mos Def on it. It sounded sick, so I was like, that'd be sick to do this rock steady reggae, Baby Be True, singing. Did I lose my mic? No. Anyway, Baby Be True singing part, like the Heptones, but then throw in my verses in between. So I kind of that tune today I'm gonna perform. I'll probably perform like a dancehall version of the Murder She Wrote rhythm. Because in reggae they got the rhythm, and you could do the real rock rhythm. 20 different singers could do different songs on it, or the Stalag rhythm, or whatever it is, Sling Ting rhythm. Yeah. So I'm gonna throw a classic rhythm, and I'm gonna throw the remix that I made, which was it's just Baby Be True. Okay. And actually, I think UB40 did a cover of it too back in the day. But I like the original Heptones, and I kind of took the hook and mixed it into my own thing. Yeah. Right. So what I love reggae, and I love music, but my biggest thing is like remixing OG old school reggae with like a new flavor. You know what I mean? Yeah. So kind of giving a shout out to the original dancehall, and giving a shout out to the original like foundation rhythms from Channel 1, Studio One, all the rhythms that are the foundation of like reggae before dancehall. Okay. Because I like both. You know. Yeah. And so which one we're going to perform today? Baby Be True. All right. And then we're going to do a tune on the Murder She Wrote rhythm, which is just, it doesn't even have a name. It's just me freestyling kind of. All right. Yeah. You ready for us? I think I'm ready to rock, yeah. All right, guys, coming up right here. You guys check it out. Woo!
Baby, be true. I'll give my love to you. I mean it, baby. Oh, baby. Treat me right. I love you day and night. I mean it, baby. Oh, baby. Roll up a slip and put the record on blast. Don't you know the made of vibes won't last? All of that bullshit, just put it in the past. Cause the time it's a moving and the move too fast. When the rain the fall, but the dirty get tough. The rich get rich, now the poor ain't got enough. When the sexy got distracted because she got the right stuff. Give me the downtown, the ragamuffin, give me Tony Top. When I achieve your goals and go rise with the sun. Get down to the music, fuck it, dance, have fun. Well, everybody put your hands up, oh. Everybody put your lighters up, hey. Everybody raise your glass up. If you ain't dancing, get your ass up. Well, everybody shout, big up now. Everybody scream, big up, well. Baby, be true. I'll give my love to you. I mean it, baby. Oh, baby. Treat me right. I love you day and night. I mean it, baby. Oh, baby. Hey, give my love to you now, baby. All right, now listen. I'll do what you ask me to now, baby. Okay. Big things, I'm a champion sound killer. Run things, thriller from Manila. I'm a vanilla, gorilla, a sound boy killer. Selector, you know I'm up and wheel and rewind. Call the inspector. At the violation this time, you only play the Cali blues and the country sometime. Well, this tune, this record, this on the slide. I and I, have the Rastafari. Place the most high, and big up Selassie. Sound boy cry another tear from the mind. Like boom boom, baddy boom boom, baddy boom boom boom, bye. Take that girl, and I tell you I'm driving. If I were a carpenter, and you were my lady, when you're down, I'll be around to catch you, baby. Oh, baby. When you're free, just call on me. I'll be there, baby. Oh, baby. I'll give my love to you now, baby. I'll do what you ask me to now, baby. Well, everybody let me looking up and skeptically, but lyrically send the promo with the vanity. Them used to hate me, now congratulate me. Them diss me, now them try to hate me. Knock them chat out, have you seen them lately? I'm doing things and I'm doing them really. I'm call the police for me. I tell you it's a case of emergency. We just kill a sound boy and kill him for free. And so tell the cops and me plead guilty. Call the police for me. Listen, this my son Manny right here. Take it away. Take it away. Police kill another man with them buttons. Say me, best me a best, I'll be a best one button. Anyway, me go, me say the session happy round. And me fly like an eagle from the sea and to the land. And full of guns, me crush up in me palm. Look at me fucking them, attacking them, I can't overstand. Them attacking them, I chat about the gun in the man. You try him on me, guide him on me, saw him on me brand. Try to see down on me, go feel them like can. Pressure me, I build up them, I take off and run. I'm a real song killer, feel it from baby, be true. I'll give my love to you. I mean it, baby. Oh, baby. This is Ross Matthew. I'm just passing through. Reggae dance song with a little mix and a twist. Rise to the top and then I'll go drop and then I'll go flop now. I'm at my new long guitar. Take it away. TSM Skateboarding. Big things. Let's go.
Dude, that was a dope song, dude. I
Oh,
like
thanks,
that,
man. Yeah, thank you.
Getting all into that, do you feel like skateboarding has helped you a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm talking about with the music.
Yeah, with skateboarding, it's the same. It's like you love what you do so much that you just continue to try to work at it, and just doing it naturally. Like I love it. Like I love to make music, so I continue to work at it and do what I do. Same with skateboarding. It's like you love what you do so much, you just continue to plug away at it, continue to do it. And like I'm 50, but every weekend
50. You don't
I'm
look
50.
You
Yeah,
look 50, man.
I'm 50. Every weekend, if I'm off from working, because I work, a long time with the city of Sacramento, I go skate. I'm out there. I go skating and as much as I can. It hurts. My knees hurt. But I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get that first half hour out of the way when it's painful.
And then I saw you kickflip, man.
I still be kick flipping, heel flipping.
I saw that clip yesterday.
But it does. It takes me a half hour. Good half hour. You got to give me a half hour. Do like 30 ollies, get warmed up, get my knees moving.
That's what we got to do these days.
It might take a little longer to land my trick, but I'm getting it.
And then, what you got coming up for 2025?
Just the same stuff. I mean, I just got promoted at my actual job, so I'm pumped on that. Yeah, because I've been with the city of Sacramento a lot of years working with youth and getting them jobs. But I'm still plugging away at music. I'm putting out this single, Baby Be True, but I also want to put out an album right after that. I'm kind of debating whether to put it all out at once or put out the single first with the whole album, because I got so many songs I've made. So I'll be putting out an album this year. And then just skating, I'm going to be like, I'm giving some clips to shout out Dog Pound Skate Park, Sacramento. I'm giving them a bunch of clips, and then somebody else. But I'm just trying to, I really, people give me a hard time, but I always put my stuff out on Instagram. Like I don't save clips, even though every week I'm getting new clips, I don't save them. But it's just, for me, it's just more satisfying to be like in real time, like look what I'm doing, like, because it's hard for me to like go get a filmer. Yeah. So I'll like tripod it.
That's the best way to do it.
You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, I don't want to wait on anybody. I want to go skate my spot, and I know exactly where I want to go. I don't want to wait for you.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Sometimes I get the homies out if they're down.
And then when people want to find your music, where can they find? What platforms can they find you?
Look up so my music name is Ross Matthew. Okay. I have a big song, Ganja in My Brain.
By the way, that's a dope song.
Yeah, it's a big song, and I did a remix this year. It actually has got like millions and millions and millions of views.
Congratulations.
But I make money off that song. But beyond that, you just look up Spotify and look up Ross Matthew. I put out like a lot of stuff in the last like 2 or 3 years. Producer of mine, I always work with. His name's Rick Hayes. The drummer from The Movement, Gary Dredd. The Movement's like a big reggae band. Me and him and this guy Skillinger just put out a song. So we got a lot of new stuff out. You just look up Ross Matthew, like R-A-S, Rasta Matthew.
Okay. You hear that? Ross Matthew.
Yep.
With the S at the end of it.
Yeah.
Check it out. Spotify, Amazon, or
everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, all that. It's on every digital platform. So
check it out. And then last question: what can you say to the upcoming musician or skateboarder that want to be where you're at right now?
For me, it's just like keep doing what you love, and just do that without the feeling of like, I got to make this into something, you know, but just say, hey, I'm going to do what I love and project that and then invite in whatever is given to me through that. Because if you just keep doing what you love and keep skating, all those opportunities are going to come to you. If you're genuinely in love with what you're doing, and the same thing with music, if you just continue to love it and do it and believe in it, it doesn't really matter what people say, how people feel about you. I mean, this kid's here, but I'm saying, like, you don't give an F about what people say. Do your thing, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
You hear that? F, do you. Remember that. Well, Matt, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you, man.
And stick around, because we got Chris Lambert coming up.
All right.
What's up, Chris? How you doing, dude?
Hey, Tommie.
Welcome coming on the show.
Dude, are you kidding me, man? Anytime that you ask me to do something, I'm gonna jump and do it because I like your ass. You know what I mean? You're a cool cat.
Thank you.
Yeah, especially Carl too.
Oh, Carl's the best.
Yeah.
Even sometimes.
Love Carl. I grew up with Carl skating.
Really? Tell us a good story.
I don't know. We skated for GIA Skate Company back in the days, Good Times Intelligence Agency, when we were like 14 years old. And that must have been 48 now, so what, 34 years ago. Yeah, we used to skate together. Think of that. Yeah.
That's a long time.
It's a long time. Been on them streets for a long time. And then, you know, I'm going to take your job because I know you're supposed to ask me questions.
No, dude. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do your thing.
But then I hear, you know, Matt Pailes is going to be here too. I've been skating around with that cat since around 15 years old too, 16 years old too. So, I mean, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I've been still, like, hustling on them street, on the skateboards.
Yeah.
You know? Having fun.
That's what life is about.
I love it.
How was the drive up?
It was cool, man. There's always some kind of traffic in between, like this El Toro Oso Parkway kind of a thing that I've been dealing with since I was forever. You know, in that whole section.
That's the worst section right there.
Forever, ever since.
I had to leave like 2 hours before I had to come up here.
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
So what got you into skateboarding?
You know, I grew up in La Costa. Mm-hmm. La Costa was on like, it's kind of like the fringes of like out in the what we call it, the boondocks, is what they called it, from Encinitas and all that kind of stuff. But we were out by the Carlsbad skate park when I was a little kid. You know the Carlsbad skate park, McGill's Park.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, and my next door neighbor was Jordan Richter.
What? That's right.
Okay, and so Jordan Richter, we all know that. You hear that? Everybody went, whoa, because he was a G. And he skated for Santa Cruz back in those days, and he would be skating the streets with Peter Hewitt and Danny Way when I was a little kid.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and so they would be slapping curbs when I was a little kid, and they'd be wanting to skate with me not with me, with my friend that I would skate with, because the older brother ripped. And so we'd just be watching around, you know, skating with these guys when they were little kids. But he always denied skating with them. He was so cool. He was like, cool, dude. You know, he was like, nah, I'm not going to skate with you cats. And we were like, what the hell? Like, he denied those guys, dude. So, and we were like, we felt privileged to skate with him. His name was Erik Leander.
Okay.
Yeah, Erik and Ryan Leander. And so, yeah, so Jordan Richter. And he was kind of a weirdo. You know what I mean? Like, he was a badass cat, but he would want to ride my sister's little Jeep, you know, those electric Jeeps.
Yeah, yeah.
And he would, the amount of time he would let me ride his mini ramp. He had a mini ramp in his backyard. So he would like cruise over and I would let him drive my sister's Jeep so I could go skate his mini ramp.
So it was like a trade-off.
Yeah, yeah. And so I was like, all right. And the thing went like 0.1 mile per hour. So I'd just be watching him like for a while driving in my driveway, like, what the hell? And then he would let me skate his mini ramp.
That's crazy.
And that's how I started skating.
And then, do you remember your first board?
Yeah, Veriflex Skate or Die.
Dude, that's a dope board.
Yeah, it was dope.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was cool.
And did you have a skate shop you used to go to all the time, or what?
Yeah, Street Life.
Street Life, okay.
Street Life was the main place where anybody would go coming through Encinitas. You'd go to Street Life and just kind of and check what was going on, you know.
Did they do a lot of stuff for the skate community, or?
For all of us skaters, for a place to hang out, you know. Like
Okay.
in those days, we would just hang out. You know, you just go there and watch skate videos and just bug the managers. And they would try and kick you out of the skate shop, and we would get kicked out. We'd have to be forced to go skate. And then we'd come back in and bug them, and then be forced to go skate. And, you know, it's just that, you know, constantly.
I remember those skate days.
And those are those days that with Carl, you know, those are those days. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And when you started what year did you start skateboarding?
I was 10, you know, and I'm 48 now. So, I don't know, like, man, it must have been 86, 87, 88, something like this, right? 88, maybe?
And
like
what-
hardcore or something.
And what was skateboarding like around your era?
It was mini ramps and just getting into transition stuff. Launch ramps.
Okay.
Launch ramps were a hit. My dad would build me ramps and stuff and big ramps, and he messed up, and all the kids had these little ones. When he messed up, and he made a 3-foot one for me, and it was way bigger than everybody else's.
It was
so
like
I was flying off ramps more than anybody, and so I think that was where he kind of got me conditioned for leg stuff back in the days, for just mistakenly building me a big ramp. You know, and I was flying higher than everyone else. You know,
Everybody's riding the little ones, and you're up here.
Yeah, I was flying off those
Doing
things,
the
man.
Madonnas off of it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I was lucky, you know, to be able to have a big ramp. But then I cut it down eventually. But I learned going high, you know, off those things.
Yeah. And then you progress, and then you got getting sponsors, and your first sponsor was.
First sponsor was probably Street Life, you
Okay.
know, and then we saw Poorhouse stickers out there, maybe Poorhouse. I had Black Label hook up a little bit from Max Evans, that was in the area that was hooking me up with Black Label boards, and then GIA, and then my first hookup was it's rad because I'm skating with them still every single day. Is Laban and Dave Berchthold. We're doing Blockhead again, and it's like the best thing that I've, you know, and it's and these guys called me out one day out of nowhere, you know, hearing about, you know, little shitballs being good on the streets in those days. There wasn't that many skaters at that time, so they hooked me up with an interview at a skate spot.
Are you
You know what I'm
serious?
saying?
Are
And
you
I had to
serious?
get down, and I had to pull off a trick, and it was funny because me and my best friend at that time was Jason Maxwell, and a great friend of mine still to this day. He became pro, you know, later on for Color and for
Yeah.
Prime and everything. But him and I got called by these guys to have a bout, you know, and I won the bout, you know, and they called me up and they didn't call him, and it was funny because he called me up. He's all, "What the hell, dude? That's lame that you got on, but I didn't." He got all pissed. But that was it, you know, it was just skating this little thing. Do we talk about skate tricks? You know, I was
Yeah,
a little
you
kid, and
can
I
talk
did
about
this
such tricks.
kickflip no slide gazelle when I was a little kid, you know, and like over this thing, you know, and it stuck out, and I got on Invisible. Blockhead, and then we started Invisible up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was it like being on Invisible with all those guys on there?
Well, I was the first guy. Like, it was like Laban, and then me, and then we got John Reeves, and then I hooked up with my homeboys around the way, Jeremy DeGlopper and Axel Burney. And then we went up to SF, and then we met Jamie, and then I stayed up at Jamie's house for a while, and then for a couple weeks, ended up driving back down here with him from SF, and then he stayed here, and then, you know, his thing took off, and, you know, and we all just started Invisible Up. You know what I mean? That's kind of almost how it started. You know
and you skated up in SF? Did you skate
that was in 93, 94.
Yeah.
93, 92, 93. Yeah.
Because I moved here like San Diego, California in 94, so that was like...
That was right, 93 was when we were skating SF a lot when we were kids, you know, when we were kids.
Good memories of E&B?
Yeah, you know, I never got messed with. You know what I mean? I was friends with Carl Watson and all those guys, so they kind of hooked me up. You know, were nice with me. Let's just say that. You know, I still see Mike York. Mike York is awesome. You know, he's still repping. You know, and ripping. You know, and so I get to see him. He was nice to me. You know, I'm lucky to have been around cool people.
Yeah, E&B. That's always wanted to skate E&B because that spot was such a legendary spot.
I know. I lucked out, man, with skating there in those days. You know,
Yeah, and the
being able
bricks.
to see it. You know, being able to see Henry Sanchez and Mike Curl and like Javante in the live, it was pretty epic to see.
I bet you that was sick.
James Kelch, you know, all those kind
Yeah.
of guys. You know. Yeah.
That's pretty rad. And then so you did Invincible, and then how did Earth came along with that?
Invisible, and then it was funny. This is a funny story. I was skating with Berra at that time a lot, and him and he kind of persuaded me to say, he was like, "Yo, why don't you get on Foundation?" And so I was like, okay. So I started filming him with I started filming video. I think it was one of his first probably street parts. For a lot of that stuff I filmed of him skating street. And it was funny because he's getting me on Foundation, I thought. And so then I called Dave Bergthold up, and I'm like, Dave, I'm going to get on Foundation. He's like, oh, yeah? And then like about 5 minutes later, Todd Swank calls me up and says, oh, I heard you're getting on my company. And I'm all, Berra said that I was, and he's all, well, that's my friend Dave, and you're not getting on my team.
Oh,
you know? And so I'm like, what? And so then it was rad. I gave him much respect later on. I know Todd well to this day, and I give him hugs like, dude, that's cool, dude, that you're hooking your friend. You're saying, you're looking out for your friend, and he did that to me, and it was rad. And the next day, but it was worked out because the next day I show up to the apartment complex where Berra is. He's all pissed that that it turned out like this, kind of, you know. And then Markovich walks in the door and says, "Oh, you're not getting on Foundation. You're on Prime." The next day, and so then I got on World Industries the next day of Prime, and then and this is in '94. Yeah. And and then I don't know, and then that's how it started. And then Berra got pissed off. Him and Markovich almost got in a fight about it.
No way.
Yeah, in the apartment complex. It was funny. And then I was like, yo, and then it was like everybody broke it up. In Maxwell. And then they were pissed. And then ever since I haven't, I don't know Berra too well from that point, but till now. But you know what I mean? But that was our history. Yeah. It was kind of funny. Yeah,
it was kind of funny.
It was funny.
and I always known you as like the dude that had the best backside flips, dude. You like best
backside flip. Yeah.
That was your best. That was you killed it on anything you did.
Yeah, it was my go-to.
Gaps, everywhere you did it.
That was my go-to. That was one of my go-tos. Yeah, but I love backside flips. Slow motion. I was talking to Matt Pailes about that just a second ago. It's like this inside, like you have to find like it's a dip of the shoulder. Yeah, I don't know. It's a whole technique. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you moved on, and then
moved on, and from that. Oh, and then I started skating with the Planet Earth Cats.
That's what. Yeah. Okay.
Well, and then I started skating with Shanny and all them cats because Shanny came into town, and then from Switzerland. And then we started. Then it was all meshed up from there. Felix was in town. We all started. They would all go skating, and I'd always be along with them. I was the World Industries guy that skated with the Planet Earth guys, and then it was just they kind of talked me into like skating for them.
I mean, Ride for Planet Earth was like such a legendary company, dude.
Yeah, I was anything to do with Chris Miller. He's sweet.
And your Mirko and all those guys.
And Mirko, Mirko is always an amazing person to be around.
Yeah,
to this day still.
And and you had a sick part. And now was it Now Later?
It's Silver.
Silver.
And then Silver video. Yeah. Ty Evans video. I look into like who I filmed with and who I was like able to be around at that time, and Joey Bast and all those guys were epic. Caesar Singh and Jason King, Rick Jaramillo.
Yeah. Rick Jaramillo. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All those guys. Brian Howard, Chris Miller.
I mean, it was such a good team. I mean, like that. Actually, funny thing is that's I remember when I was in my eras and stuff like that, that's what I looked up to. Was like, was like Matt Hensley, 8th Street, all that good stuff. Matt Hensley was my idol. But when Planet Earth came out, it was just like, wow, dude, I want to ride for this brand, dude.
I lucked out, man. I lucked out for sure. Yeah. You know, it's just being around where, you know, I grew up in that area where everybody would almost start to reside, you know, and that was my area.
And you did a lot of traveling?
In 2000, I started in 98 to like maybe 2004. You know, I skated for Etnies, and Etnies had a big budget at that time. Right. And so I was able to, but you know, that's going a little bit after Planet Earth, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then after Planet Earth, we just started the Expedition game up.
That's right.
We started Expedition up. And then after that, during that time, I got on Etnies, and then Etnies always had like such a sweet budget, you know, and that I was able to travel. They just kept me on the road for 4 years straight. You know, and so I was able to go around the world like 3 or 4 times. You know what I mean?
And your favorite spot you went to?
I went everywhere. I mean, I went with Sasha Steinhorst, and so you know, my man. You know, he's not with us anymore. But you know what? But he showed me the ropes to be able to travel and find herb wherever we wanted. You know what I'm saying? And then I found my social circle at that point, and then I found my skate community, my everywhere I went. You know what I mean? Street skating.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
And while traveling around the world, do you have a favorite place you went to?
I'm sorry, I know you asked me that, but
no, you're good, brother.
You know what? I have a lot of great, but I love Copenhagen a lot. You know, I love Copenhagen. I love Japan. I almost moved to Japan a few times. I mean, there's Australia, anywhere around the world. I had a good time.
Yeah, like
anywhere.
And like that's where you mostly skated more. Was Australia or
Paris? I think I went everywhere, dude. I was in Germany a lot. Yeah, I was in Australia, Germany, France, Portugal, Spain.
There you go.
Yeah, Italy. Everywhere. I don't know. Australia. I stayed in Japan a lot. I love Japan. So Japan is probably one.
Can I ask you why you like Japan so much?
I had a good friend there, and at the same time, the cordialness, the beautifulness of people are always sweet to one another. You know, there's no freaking bitter. If you see somebody fall, you're gonna help them. You're not gonna freaking try and loot them. You know what I mean? And I saw that in front of me. You know what I mean? I would see people passed out from a club or something, and people would help somebody.
That's awesome.
Set their phone next to them and just make sure they're okay instead of freaking jack them. You know, that's where I think is beautiful. You know, so that's why I like that place a lot.
And I think the first time we had you on the show was our very first season.
I was your very first person.
Yes, you were.
That you asked to be on there, and that's why that's why I love you guys. You know, you guys really hooked me up ever since. Yeah. And
it has changed a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, what have you been doing? I mean, what
have I been doing?
Yeah, what's been going on in your life ever since? My question is, ever since the first season to now, what's been going on? Because I know you did. I did
ESP skateboards for a long time because the reason why I did the ESP skateboards was to hook up my friends with skateboards, not make any money off it. I was able to buy boards, sell the amount that I was able to hook my homeboys up with boards, and I was able to get my artwork out there because I was doing screen printing at the time, and I love screen printing. I love the hand screen printing, not this, the heat transfer stuff, but I'm talking the real artwork of being able to transfer onto screen and repurpose, and use different colors right in with your hands. You know what I'm saying? And I love that about it. You know, and so I'm into that still.
That's good.
You know? And that's what got me, you know, and that's what I did with ESP. I ended up hurting my body a lot from skateboarding in the past, and I was able to get some pretty good insurance for the last 4 or 5 years. And so all I've done is just gone down the line with every one of my injuries. And so I've gotten both my ankles, both my knees, and both my shoulders pretty much completely redone.
Really?
Yeah, metal throughout my knees, or not my ankles, I mean. Bone spurs, everything, all of my stuff fixed in my knees, anchors throughout all of my shoulders to keep my tendons together.
Dang.
And so now I'm back to because I used to like to jump, on my skateboard.
Big gaps.
Yeah, and so it messed me up. But nowadays I don't even flip my board. I don't even ollie anymore. I've done everything. I've revamped myself into a skateboarder that I could love, and the love of skateboarding is back with me because it's I'm doing tricks that I've never done before, and they're all new to me, and I don't have to hurt myself as much as I used to.
You're not jumping down 10 stairs.
Yeah, but you still get broke off big
Yeah.
time when you skate some of these double-sided curbs. But in some of the stuff that I've been doing, because we just came out with the heads up video for Blockhead.
Congratulations on that part.
Thank you very much, man. That took a year and a half of my skating,
Mm-hmm.
of my life. Right when I got done with all of my injuries and started to heal up, I just went full bore at it. And I still work. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's what I've been doing let's go back just a second. Blockhead Skateboards has reemerged, has been a powerhouse in our life. Myself, Laban, Dave Bergthold, Jesse Hotchkiss, Sam Cunningham, and Ron Cameron.
Yes, Ron
and
Cameron's
all of
sick.
these guys have come back together, and we've made Blockhead like this thing again. And it's revitalized my life, and I think all of my other friends' lives, because we're almost like pushing one another again, like when we were kids.
Yeah.
And I talk to Dave and Laban every day still, almost, about what we're up to and what we're doing next.
Yeah.
And what this new trick that we dreamt about. It's just weird. We're like old guys talking nerd about skating all the time still. You know what I mean?
And that's what's great about skateboarding.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, no matter how old you are, from 10 to 100 years old,
Yeah.
we're always going to have that connection with skateboarding, and that's what people don't realize, is that skateboarding has so much culture to it, but also too, it has so much something that a normal human being won't never understand. What
You know what I mean?
skateboarders has,
And I love that, And can I go back just a second ago too? I forgot Jose Trevino is part of our posse, and I love
Jose
him very
is?
much. Yeah, and
Jose's sick.
Yeah, and our really good friend Joy is part of the posse right now too.
Okay.
And she's just got on the team, and I can't wait for you guys to see her footage pretty soon. And so it's almost like it's all coming together. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So the whole Blockhead.
The whole Blockhead thing is starting to come back.
That's good.
Into full force, and we're actually putting all of our efforts into it. And our friends up in Portland, David Lynch and Dave Hayes, and all of these guys have come back to unify the Blockhead crew again, and it's badass. You know what I mean?
So I'm going to go back to when we talked about the Blockhead video. So you did a lot of traveling with those guys.
Yeah.
And what you're telling us about being hurt and recovery and stuff, how hard was it for you to do all that?
Skateboarding nowadays it's pretty mental. I could think about a trick, and I'm gonna think that my body can do it. I think it's most likely gonna happen. You know what I mean? Because my body's kind of, and so if I didn't have any restrictions on, I can't do this because of this, now it's not there anymore. I'm like, holy crap, maybe I could try it again.
Yeah.
And then it works, and it worked out most of the time for my thought process for a trick.
And is there anything that you can tell the older skaters, like any special thing, like drinking Red Bull or something to help them going?
You're going to say that because, the other day, I could tell you right now, the old guys should really look into the dual action. I don't know if it's like a Tylenol Advil together, or I don't know how it works. World, because I don't take that stuff too often.
Either.
But when I am with the old guys, Dave Bergthold in particular, he'll throw me a dually, we call them. And and if you have a Red Bull with a dually, and then you could skate for 3 or 4 hours and just be psyched.
So you hear that, old guys out there, man, old skaters out there.
So it's like you look for the dual action stuff. So I don't know, and it helps your body out. Yeah. And so that's what I've been doing.
So you've been doing Red Bull and dually to keep it
Red
going.
Bull dualies. Hey, let me tell you one thing though about skateboarding is that you end up finding, you just find your loves within where you're at those times, with your crews and stuff like this. Well, right now my crew has been the Slappy Sunday crew with the Dewey guys down in San Diego.
Yep.
See, these guys have been pushing me to other levels.
I saw you MBD.
I've been getting my MBDs, at least MBDs for myself every single week.
I see that. I saw the last one.
Yeah, because you know what? It's these homeboys that I skate with. You know what I mean? And there's so many to list off, but let's just say, let's try it. Rob, John. Let me see. Alex,
June, Kate,
Michelle, June,
Willie
Kyong,
Santos.
Willie, Drew, Flores.
And then goes on and on.
There's all these people that really push me, so I just had to throw that out there too.
Yeah, let's give them a cheers.
Cheers to you. I appreciate it. It's not alcohol. This is a Pepsi.
This is a Gatorade.
But it's a Blockhead.
This is a kilo coffee.
Yeah, thanks. But what else do we want to talk about? I don't know, man.
Well, I do want to talk because we had Laban on our show. I don't remember what episode, but it was at Bonkers. I love that place, by the way.
I love that place, yeah.
That place is fun. We feel a couple of stuff there. And one of the things he talked about is you guys used to do like productions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Y'all
I
TV?
I've worked in the movie industry
Yeah,
for about a long time, 10 years or something.
Let's talk about that.
You know, I got myself into that because I know how to fall really well. And so I ended up doing stunt work.
Okay.
And so I was like, wait a second. So I could like fall and I could get like, if I skated all week, all year, I could fall like 3 or 4 times and I can make that amount just in that for me skating for the whole year or something. So I started figuring out that I could fall pretty well and I could do these jobs for pretty good loot. And then so I started falling around a little bit, you know what I mean? And so that was just it, you know, and then I ended up being the guy behind cameras or helping the AD or doing the freaking building the sets or helping the lighting or helping the freaking boom guy. I've done all that.
Yeah, because I remember y'all skits. You know, Laban used to do skits all the time, man.
Yeah, I did all of it, man. I just am not good in back at computers, so I'm not a good editor. You know, but I could do it on my phone really well. You know, yeah.
No, I remember. Was it on Field TV? Y'all did that stuff?
Yeah, I had a TV show called Slam.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and you know, I could, because and it was I had fun. You know, it was pretty much fueled from you know, from how can I say it? Okay, you know, mushrooms and staring at kung fu films is pretty much where I started that off with, because then it started making me think about how skateboarding it's trying to flip it around.
Yeah.
Let's make fun of it on a loving level. You know what I mean? And so what do? Instead of landing tricks, I'm going to slam, and I'm going to make up a character that likes to slam on things instead of making tricks. And so then I started freaking out on that. And then we were like, let's try and film one. We filmed it. And then the next day, the Fuel TV were psyched on it. And, you know, and then we started filming more and more and more and more. And then they started handing me off shows, you know, and that's just how it worked, you know.
Yeah.
Until they sold it, you know, and all of us were like, damn, running for like whatever we could at that point. But, you know.
Try to grab everything you can, right?
Yeah, whatever we could, you know what I mean? Just, you know, trying to make movies and make whatever we could.
Yeah.
And we did. We survived, you know.
And listen to your stories and everything you're telling the guests and the audience and stuff like that. Do you ever go back and like look at it and be like, holy shit, dude. This is crazy.
Crazy.
From the time that you started skateboarding to now.
Yeah.
Do you ever have like thoughts of like what?
I have a lot of like lives. I've lived a lot of lives, you know, and then a lot meaning like there's been a lot of ups and downs and different times in my life where I switch, and you know, it's like skateboarding is up and down like that, you know. And I don't know. My friends are now like, whoa, now you're this skater. Like I've never, you know. It's almost like it's not like you just have to switch. You almost have to find something new on your skateboard, you know. And there's so much new on your skateboard. You don't have to be the same every time. You know what I mean?
No,
so it's almost like that's what makes me like thrive, is like trying to find whatever way I could skate differently on my skateboard, you know.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much like that's what keeps me going, you know. That's what's kind of kept me going ever since we've started this up the last 4 or 5 years. I told myself I wasn't going to flip my board ever, and I don't ever flip my board, you know. And never thought that would happen. You
ever thought about it?
And then I thought I don't even ollie up a curb barely. I don't even think I ollie. I think I had maybe one ollie in my whole video part.
Really?
Yeah, in the whole video part, I think I had one.
I'm trying to think of everything you did.
No, just a one ollie off just this little bump, just to get me warmed up to another thing. But other than that, I didn't even do that. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty proud of that, you know, because it's one of the best video parts I've ever filmed, ever. And I don't have any flip or ollie in it, you know.
And can you tell the audience where they can watch the video?
It's called. I should be staring at the cameras the whole time, maybe. You know, I've been staring at you the whole time.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's the blue eyes, man.
Yeah, but you know what? It's just it's called Heads Up Blockhead Video. It's on YouTube. You know, it's a good time. You'll be psyched on it.
Yeah, and you see everybody. See his part, Laban's part, Dave's part, everybody's part in that.
Hotch's part, everybody, you know. Yeah, you got Jose in there, you got Sam Cunningham's in there. You know, it's hard to see Sam Cunningham footage, especially nowadays when the G's up in McKinleyville and we need to get him on the camera because he's such a freaking force of nature
Yeah.
on a skateboard. You
Yeah,
know,
yes.
so Sam Cunningham's badass. 62 years old and he's still killing it.
That's
So,
sick.
Yeah, it's sick. Yeah.
No, it definitely is. And then
Yeah.
one couple more things. So what do you got planned for 2025? Anything fun? Anything more trips? Any
2020
artwork? Anything?
2025. Look at this shape right here. That's my shape I've been working on for the last year. And you know, it's my board that I haven't had a board in 20 years. I think I went pro in 96 and I stopped having boards in 2006. You know? So so I'm thinking, you know, it's been almost 20 years since 19 years since I've had a board or something, you know? And they're going to give me a board. I'm waiting for Ron Cameron to do the graphic. It's a Ron Cameron graphic.
Oh man.
Yeah, and so it's like
That's dope.
it's like a dream. So it's kind of it's coming back it's coming back to me like this my love for the skateboard thing, like hardcore. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to the point of like I was first like I was off it. I was like I don't want to the marketing thing, the whole skateboarding thing has kind of bugged me out.
Yeah.
You know, for a long time. Threw me into like I don't want to compete with people. I just want to like almost compete against myself or something. That's what skateboarding is anyways. It's the reason why I got into it was because I was competing with myself. You know, I had friends that passed away when I was younger that helped me get through my freaking mental state. You know what I mean? And that's almost what skateboarding is for me, at least. It's not this competitive thing, which I got turned into, of course, you know. Castle when we were kids and all this stuff, we were competitive. But nowadays, it feels nice not to have any kind of competitive bone in my body and just thinking for myself, you know, in that way, you know. And it seems as if my posse are doing the same thing, and so we're almost conjoining in this mental state of like non-competitiveness, but working with one another,
Yeah.
you know, to make something happen.
I'm going to go back a little bit to what you just said. Do you feel that being a competitive skater, you think it changes you, or does you think it makes you a better? I know you said, what I'm trying to say is competitive skating. Do you think it's good for skateboarding?
Yeah, it's good for when a certain time in your career.
Okay.
Like 2000 to 2004, I was with Etnies. They expected me to freaking be in that contest scene, and they're paying me right. I freaking put everything I could into that situation, and I did as best as I possibly could. I was going around these contests. The reason why I did the contest really is because I loved the people I was around. Everybody, I was traveling with Carlos D'Andrade. He was winning every contest, and so I was able to cruise around with this guy and really be in awe of. This guy turns into a superhero. You know what I mean? And I know him as funny guy, and then he gets on the course, and you're like, whoa! You know, like this is the guy I'm freaking traveling with. You know, and it pushes you into another level of skating.
Yeah.
You know, and that was where I loved it. You know, I was able to push. I was able to win contests. I was able to make money. You know, in contest scene. That was nice. But that's not where I came from. I'm a street skater. You know, I would rather be recognized by the underground crew, you know, of freaking representing and not freaking giving up on a skate trick and battling until you can't walk anymore. Because that was where I grew up. And I grew up in freaking you battle and you don't talk crap and you freaking make sure that you land your trick at the end of the day.
Yep.
And that's it. And then everything else is gravy. And then you go meet up with your girlfriend and your sites. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
And that was it. You know what I mean? And that was it. You know, and that was where I'm still almost in that same boat.
Yeah.
You know, I'm almost like, you know what? I have to put myself into that boat because I'm getting old and I don't like thinking of me getting old. So I'm trying to freaking hold on to something, bro.
You're only 45,
you know?
right?
48.
Okay.
So I'm getting old, dude. I'm way old, dog.
I'm
Come
going to
on.
be 50.
You're almost 50?
I'll be 50 in June.
Yeah, well, you know what? You ain't rolling around as much as me, though. You know what I mean?
No,
I'm rolling around. I'm beating myself up. You know what I'm saying? And so you are like, you look good. You know what I mean? But me, I'm hobbling around. You know what I mean? And so I'm almost still trying to make it happen. But I just love that feeling, and it's like makes me feel good. And that's what I'm holding on to, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I was saying, you know, you got people like Matt Pailes, you got people like all these guys that are still my age, that we're still looking at one another on Instagram. And you know what? This Instagram thing may be dorky, but you know what? It keeps us all communicating. It keeps us all in this thing of like, it keeps me like looking and going, yeah, Matt, you just kickflip, dude, over this huge thing. You know what I mean? Or like, yeah, dude. Or like, yeah, Laban, dude, what?
Yeah.
I'm just like, and every day I'm talking to my friends. Every day. And I'm like, dude, I didn't talk to my friends this much when we didn't have, you know, this stuff. Now I'm talking to my friends every day about, yes, dude, right?
Yeah.
And it's like almost makes me feel like I'm part of this community of skaters that we're all pushing each other. And if I have a bummed out day, I could go on there for a second and give my friend props, and he gives me props for what we did, and now I'm in a good mood.
There you go.
You know, it's just how it works.
That's skateboarding.
That's skateboarding, dude.
That's skateboarding.
That's it, man.
And,
You know?
and
Yeah.
last question 4. What can you say to the upcoming skaters that want to be where you're at or want to be where you were at?
I was telling Wyatt earlier, I said, you know what? Don't try and push yourself too fast. Stay steady, right? It's just like skating a contest. Everybody tries to go right in the first day, you're killing it. And you have 3 more days. You know what I mean? You have to be chill, better the next day. Going for it 3rd day. You know, it's almost like there's a time and a place. You don't try and rush yourself, dude, because your body is just growing. And your mental is like, my body is still getting my memory, my muscle memory is still coming to me. I'm doing tricks I've never thought I would be able to do. But you know what? Just because I'm manifesting on it, I'm taking my time. I'm not pushing it, you know? And if you push it, that's when you get hurt.
Yeah.
Or that's when you do, you know? And another thing is when somebody says, do it again, don't do it, man. Because it's always like, that's the one that you get hurt on. You know what I mean? So just do it at your own pace, man. You know, don't be doing it for somebody else. Do it when you get psyched. Yeah, man. All right, you got it on film. Let it rest. You know, you don't have to do it again for them.
Yeah.
You can just freaking be psyched. You know what I mean? And then move on for a new trick because you already did it.
Yeah. No, it's true. Because I know many times you do it again. Oh, I missed that trick.
Are you kidding me, man? Hey, man. Jason Dill did that to me when I was a kid. Do that again. I freaking broke my ankle. He knows that. He knows that story. Yeah, but you know what? But that's all I'm saying. This is my homies, and I get to say this, and I'm gonna name drop. But he knows that story. But hey, but that happens. You know what I mean? When you're a kid, you know, it always happens. You know.
Yeah.
So whatever, dude. That was fun. That was fun.
So you hear that?
Yeah, that was fun, man. But
Do you, man?
Do you, man? And you know what? I'm name dropping, but these are all my homies, so that's how it works. But you know, but other than that, man, have fun, right?
Yeah.
Manifest a skateboard in the way that you want to manifest it, because there's so many millions of ways to do it. You know what I mean? You see people pushing style.
Yeah.
Dude, be a style guy. Be a guy with like this. Be a guy with this. You know, whatever you want to do. It looks cool. You know what I mean? That's it.
Definitely.
You know? Yeah,
Well,
that's it.
Well, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, this is a wrap for TSM Live Show, Season 8, Episode 2. I'm your host, Tommie Zam. I want to say thank you to Attic Skate Shop for allowing us to film this episode. I also want to thank you, our sponsors, for letting us film this season. Thank you for our guests for coming on True Skateboard Mag Live Show. Tune in next month because we got an epic one for you. But I'm going to leave you with Matt Pailes.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You're rad, dude. Thank you, Tommy.
That's good, dude.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
One, two, 2, 2, 3. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Got my man Manny on the 1s and 2s. Got my man Chris Lambert in the house. Big up Tommy in the house. Nice and easy, Ross Matthew. You know when you come home late and you want to see a lady, it goes like this. The rain is falling. My baby, she's all alone. Don't wanna waste no time. I wanna go home. See the rain is falling. My baby, she's all alone. Don't wanna waste no time. I wanna go home. I have never heard a sound play so heavy and so clear with a sweet tone of melody. The girl won't be here. Say me never heard a sound play so heavy and a tear with a sweet tone of melody. Well, gangsta Boston, fire up in the pagan, fire up in the informer, Rasta, like the police of Boston, a innocent murder. Well, that is that the money running into Santa Range Rover. Well, this year the gun play get red hot. I run up this not a gunshot, the blood start a innocent I get flat. Children can play a road. Manny, take it away, take it away. Lots of men mash up the dance. Lots of people mash up the dance. Lots of girls are dancing on the dance. Leave the people in a sweet romance. Give me little rhythm, make me jump and swing. Give me little rhythm, make me do my own thing. Well, in a long range of them. 1, 2, 1, 2.